Have you ever wondered if there is a place on Earth, still operating by the laws of 1,000 years ago? A place where Google's satellite maps are often blurry, hidden within the mystical folds of the Himalayas, where pilots must pass the world's most rigorous exams, just to be granted the right to land? Welcome to Bhutan, the kingdom of the Thunder Dragon. But do not let that majestic name deceive you. We are not discussing a typical holiday destination. We are talking about structures that defy physical logic. Monasteries hanging precariously on 1,000-meter cliffs. Why does a nation with no traffic lights build wonders that even modern machinery would fail to recreate? Why do they choose to live in such perilous heights, where one wrong step means vanishing into the abyss? Today, we uncover the top secret files of Bhutan, exploring locations that should not exist. Prepare yourself for what you are about to witness. We'll shatter your definition of the word impossible. If any place proves magic is real, it is Parotaksang, commonly known to the world as the Tiger's Nest, perched on a vertical granite cliff at 3,120 meters. IT hangs 900 meters above the valley floor. Look closely at this engineering anomaly. A massive complex seems to grow directly from the rock. In 1692, without cranes or heavy machinery, how did they transport tons of material up here? Every stone and beam was carried on human backs. Along slippery, narrow precipices in the clouds, locals do not credit human engineering alone. They believe in a darker, more potent legend. They say Guru Rinpoche arrived on a flaming tigress, a deity transformed to subdue the mountain's demons. He meditated in these caves for years to seal the darkness. For travelers, the ascent is a grueling ordeal. The air is so thin your lungs struggle for every gasp. The roaring waterfall below serves as a constant warning. Nature here holds no compassion for the careless. Next, we face the gateway to a beautiful nightmare. Paro Airport, the most dangerous landing on Earth. Only a handful of pilots are certified to fly here. Surrounded by peaks towering over 5,500 meters, radar is useless here. Pilots navigate purely by sight, executing 45-degree banks between jagged ridges. Wings nearly brush the pine trees on the hillsides. The runway is terrifyingly short, under 2,000 meters. One mistake leads to the river or a mountain wall. Moving deep into the valley, we find Panaka Dazong, the fortress built at the confluence of two rivers, the mother river Mo Chu and the father Fa Chu. It is a massive palace constructed without a single nail, an interlocking wooden puzzle that defies modern math. It has survived fires, floods, and earthquakes, only to be rebuilt identically by memory alone. Inside lies the preserved body of the great unifier. Monks serve him tea daily as if he still draws breath. The thin veil between life and death is ever present here. At Dokula Pass, 3,100 meters above the world, 108 white stupas emerge from the eternal mist. These are not monuments of victory, but of atonement, built to appease the souls of those lost in conflict. On foggy nights, it feels like a liminal space, where invisible armies still patrol the ridges. Why does Bhutan maintain this extreme isolation? The secret lies in their happiness tax, a high daily fee to keep the land untainted by crowds. Internet and TV were forbidden until 1999. Bhutan remained invisible to the world for centuries. They live alongside the legend of the Migoi, the Yeti, a respect for the unknown that borders on obsession. These places do not exist by accident. They are the result of a civilization choosing harmony over the cold, hard logic of industrialization. Fragile bridges, monasteries that mock gravity, and a lifestyle that rejects the 21st century. Are you brave enough to step into this hidden realm? To discover the mysteries of the Thunder Dragon? Or is the safety of the modern world all you desire? Let us delve deeper into the forbidden valleys, where even the bravest locals refuse to enter at night. Beyond the Tiger's Nest lies a network of secret caves. These are the meditation chambers of ancient masters, places where time behaves differently than the world outside. It is said that inside these cold, dark stone walls, the laws of physics begin to blur and fade away. Witnesses claim to have seen monks levitating in silence, their bodies generating heat in sub-zero temperatures. This is Tummo, the inner fire that defies biology. Could these caves be portals to another state of being? Now, look at the architecture of a typical Bhutanese home. You will notice strange, often shocking symbols painted on walls. Phallic symbols, meant to ward off evil spirits and gossip. To a modern outsider, this seems bizarre or even crude. But in the kingdom of the Thunder Dragon, it is sacred. It stems from the legend of the divine madman, Druk Bakunli, a saint who used unorthodox methods. To shock the ego and enlighten the masses. He allegedly subdued demons with thunderbolts of wisdom. This blend of the erotic and the holy is a paradox that simply should not exist in a conservative world. Yet here it is, integrated into the fabric of daily life. Next we travel to the Phobjika Valley, the glacial wonder. Every winter, black-necked cranes arrive from Tibet. They are believed to be the reincarnations of monks. Strangely, these birds circle the Gangti monastery 3 times clockwise upon arrival and departure. Scientists call it a behavioral fluke or coincidence, but the Bhutanese know better. It is a ritual of respect. In this valley, there are no power lines above ground. The government refused to disturb the flight of the cranes. They chose darkness for their people to protect the birds. Where else would a nation sacrifice electricity for a bird? This level of devotion to nature is almost alien to us. As we climb higher, we reach the border of Gangkar Puensum, the highest unclimbed mountain in the entire world. At 7,570 meters, it remains conquered by no human foot. Many have tried, but the Bhutanese government banned it. They believe the peaks are the homes of sacred deities. To step on the summit is to disturb the peace of gods. Since the ban, reports of strange lights and sounds emanating from the mountain have only increased. Is it just the wind or something far more ancient? Locals whisper about the Migoi, the elusive Yeti. Bhutan even created a national park for the creature. The Saiteng Wildlife Sanctuary, built for a legend. Official government maps recognize the Yeti's habitat. In a world of satellites, how does a giant ape stay hidden? Perhaps the mountain itself chooses who it wants to see. Journey now to the Iron Bridge at Tamchog Lakang. Built in the 14th century by the King of Empty Space, Thangtong Jalpo, an engineer, blacksmith, and saint, he constructed 58 iron chain bridges across the country. The iron he used has not rusted for over 6 centuries. Metallurgists are baffled by the purity of the metal. How did a medieval hermit discover rust-proof technology? Walking across this swaying bridge is a leap of faith. Beneath you, the turquoise river roars with icy fury. Every step vibrates with the energy of the 1300s. It is a mechanical miracle that should have decayed long before the Industrial Revolution even began. But in Bhutan, the spiritual preserves the material. Consider the ritual of the masked dancers or tseku. Dancers spin in trance like states for hours on end. Their masks represent the terrifying wrathful deities. The movements are said to be visions from the afterlife. Spectators believe that by watching, their sins are washed. The line between performance and reality dissolves. You are no longer in a festival, you are in a vision. But the most chilling mystery lies in the ghost valleys, areas so remote that no roads have ever reached them. In these enclaves, ancient dialects are still spoken, dialects that share no roots with the modern world. Anthropologists are stunned by this linguistic isolation. How can a language survive unchanged for 1,000 years? It is as if these valleys are bubbles in the fabric of time. Now, consider the Bhutanese diet and their law of life. In this kingdom, killing any animal is strictly forbidden. There are no slaughterhouses within the nation's borders. Even the fish in the rivers are protected by royal decree. Yet, the people still consume meat imported from India. A moral paradox that maintains the purity of their soil, while acknowledging the necessity of human survival. This leads us to the hidden land of Bumthang, the spiritual heartland where miracles are documented facts. In the burning lake, or Miba Tsho, a treasure was found. Hema Lingpa dove into the freezing water with a lit lamp. He emerged hours later, the lamp still burning bright. holding a sacred relic that shouldn't have been there. To this day, the lake's dark waters remain eerily still. Locals refuse to swim or even touch the surface. They say the water is a gateway to another realm, one where the laws of oxygen and fire do not apply. Higher still, we find the high-altitude nomads, the Layaps, who live at the edge of the habitable world. They wear distinctive conical hats made of bamboo. Their lives are inextricably linked to the cordyceps. The Himalayan gold, a fungus that grows from insects. It is a biological impossibility, half plant, half animal. This rare parasite is worth more than gold on the market. It provides a lifeline for people in a land of ice. But harvesting it requires a spiritual price. Over-harvesting is said to anger the mountain spirits, leading to sudden, violent storms that swallow men. Now, look at the Chorten Kora in the Far East. A giant white stupa modelled after a temple in Nepal. Legend says a princess from Arunachal Pradesh was entombed alive within its walls at her own request. She sacrificed her physical form to protect the valley. The devotion found here is terrifying in its intensity. It is a place where the physical is sacrificed for the holy. Even the trees in Bhutan are part of this grand design. The cypress, the national tree, often grows near temples. Some are said to have sprouted from the walking sticks of saints who visited centuries ago. They grow to gargantuan sizes, defying normal biology. In Bhutan, nature doesn't just grow, it responds. It responds to the prayers and the presence of the divine. This is the green wall of the Himalayas. A carbon-negative nation that shouldn't be possible. In an age of global warming and industrial greed, Bhutan absorbs more carbon than it produces. A living lung for a planet that is slowly suffocating. Why do they do it? Why not sell their timber for billions? Because to them, the forest is not a commodity. It is a cathedral, and one does not sell the altar. But stay cautious as you walk through these woods. Hikers often report the feeling of being watched. Not by animals, but by something else. The LHA, spirits that govern the mountains and lakes. Every rock and spring has its own celestial guardian. To pollute a stream is to wound a deity. In Bhutan, the environmentalism is not political. It is a matter of cosmic survival. This is why their world remains a paradise, while the rest of the world turns to grey. An invisible sanctuary protected by the Lilong, the thunder dragon, whose roar is the sound of storms, and whose fire is the lightning that strikes the peaks. But what happens when the modern world finally breaks in? In the deep south, there are villages that have vanished. Homes standing perfectly intact, yet completely empty. No signs of struggle, no records of migration. Just a sudden, silent departure into the shadows. Some say they moved to the Beul, the hidden lands. Secret valleys accessible only to the enlightened. A spiritual dimension existing right beside our own. These are the places that truly should not exist. Now, let us speak of the ancient prophecies. The term are hidden treasures buried in rocks and mines. Bhutanese belief says these were left by Guru Rinpoche, to be discovered only when the world is in chaos. Many believe the time of discovery is now. In the monastery of Trongsa Dzong, a secret door exists. It has remained sealed for over 400 years. No key fits the lock. No monk dares to force it open. Legend warns that opening it would release a storm that would consume the entire Himalayan range. A metaphor for the loss of tradition or of physical truth. The duality of Bhutan is its greatest mystery. It is a kingdom of extreme peace and terrifying power. Consider the ritual of Drukpa Kwenli's blessing. Pilgrims travel hundreds of miles to be struck. By a wooden phallus or an ancient bow and arrow. They believe this physical impact awakens the soul. In Bhutan, enlightenment is not a gentle process. It is a sudden, violent realization of the truth. But the real threat to Bhutan is not demons or storms. It is the invisible poison of the outside world. globalism, consumerism, and the digital addiction, young Bhutanese are now staring into smartphones, while the ancient temples stand silent behind them. The happiness tax can slow the arrival of tourists, but it cannot stop the arrival of the internet. Will the legends of the Yeti survive the age of TikTok? Will the Lilong still roar in the hearts of the youth? As we reach the final peak of our journey, we must ask ourselves, what have we lost? The rest of the world chose speed over stillness. We chose skyscrapers over mountain sanctuaries. And in doing so, we made places like Bhutan seem like an impossible, feverish dream. But for those who have walked the path to Tiger's Nest, the dream is more real than the reality they left behind. The scent of burning juniper and the sound of bells linger in the mind long after the flight departs Paro. It is a psychological anchor in a drifting world. Bhutan is a living warning to all of humanity, a reminder that there is another way to live, a way that doesn't involve the destruction of the soul. If Bhutan ceases to exist as we know it, the world will lose its last moral compass. The places that should not exist are the only ones that are actually worth preserving at any cost. So, if you ever find yourself at the edge of a cliff, looking out over the valleys of the Thunder Dragon, do not look for the science or the explanations. Just listen to the wind as it whispers through the pines. Listen to the roar of the Lilong in the distance, and realize that some things are not meant to be understood. They are only meant to be experienced. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the world's most mysterious and sacred kingdom. Bhutan remains a beacon of light in a darkening age. Will you be the one to keep that flame alive? Or will you let it fade into the mist of history? The choice, as always, is yours. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, please consider subscribing to our channel. Help us reach more seekers of truth across the globe. Share this video with those who dare to dream. And comment below which mystery of Bhutan haunts your imagination the most. Is it the hanging temples or the unclimbed peaks? Is it the legends of the Yeti or the secret caves? We read every comment and value your perspective. Until next time, keep looking towards the horizon. Keep questioning the reality you are given. And remember, the world is far more complex and far more beautiful than you have been told. This is the end of our Bhutanese journey. Farewell.